start that. Let's start it.
The need to sue Bravo, NBC, and Andy Cohen.
First of all, I can't say that much about it because we are still, in our lawsuit. But
they still in their lawsuit. August 22nd, 2022, almost a year ago. Nene Leakes dismisses discrimination lawsuit against Bravo. Court documents obtained by People on Monday indicated the former reality star dismisses this action and all claims asserted by Leakes without prejudice. Dismisses this action and all claims asserted by Leakes without prejudice. She also claimed that her former co-star and friend, Kim Zolciak, made racist comments for years, but claimed it was Leakes who was punished after allegedly informing network executives about the matter. You mean the same person you're trying to have come back to the show? Do you not see how hypocritical that is? For you to work for Bravo, know that they had this whole situation going on and still be sitting next to Andy like you was, head bitch in charge all that time, knowing that. And then let's press even further. Kim told y'all on the last reunion show she was the only dumb white bitch that would get on stage with a bunch of niggas. She didn't say that, but that's what she wanted to say. And you and Sheree seem to feel like y'all aren't the niggas. Okay, got it. She had enough for them that they didn't have for her. Nene, duh, bitch. You know you don't make as much money as the people that's making money off of you, which should already let you know they don't care about you the way you care about them, and you shouldn't care about them that way. You seem to have not even learned that lesson. But if you had a regular job at some point, maybe you would have learned that. Girl, that's crazy for you to even have thought that them people really cared about you. Your boss is not your friend. You knew that the corporation could use you and throw you out because you were sitting next to Andy on Watch What Happens Live and talk about which girls you felt like needed to go or which girls wasn't bringing what they were supposed to brought to the show. You would do that. So at some point you recognize that the corporation could just throw anybody out if they felt like it. You just thought that it wouldn't happen to you, which is what we were telling you the whole fucking time, that you were too big for your britches. I feel like you feigning ignorance now is not... It's not making me feel better. It's not. It makes me feel as if you knew all of these things at some point over your 12 seasons of being on that show. And at some point had decided it worked to your benefit. So you were going to use it against other Black women. And then you wanted to turn around and come to us with the bullshit like, oh, look, y'all, Bravo's being racist. Girl, stop.
When I started Bravo, they were all I ever wanted on this show was to be treated fairly. And a lot of girls...
You were treated more than fairly. You were treated more than fairly in comparison to the other girls. You just overplayed your hand. You overplayed your hand. And anybody that was paying attention saw you doing it at least from like season 8. As soon as she did The Apprentice, as soon as she started working with Ryan Murphy, as soon as she started working on Broadway, the head, this was you. To be clear, you wanted to be treated better than all of the other housewives because you were comparing yourself to how the white girls are being treated. You want to be treated like the white girls. The issue you don't seem to understand is you are not a white girl and we live in a racist society. We live in a racist system. We live in a system where it doesn't matter that your star outshines all of those white girls. They will still be treated better than you because the corporation is headed by white people. And white people are going to at all times respect and put their people ahead. That's what they do. And hey, there are some Caucasian people out there that just so happen to be Caucasian. But all in all, y'all are gonna help y'all own people. And I'm not even mad about it at the end of the day. It is what it is. To me, the only thing everybody else can do is recognize the truth of the situation and move accordingly. And what you should have been doing was trying to create camaraderie with the Black women who were always trying to form some type of friendship and some type of business alliance with you when it came to Real Housewives of Atlanta. All of those women that you gave your ass to kiss every time you felt like it because you thought you was better than them because you were sitting next to Andy, those are the people that you should have been trying to form relationships with instead of letting your insecurities as an uneducated used to be stripper bitch that stole an old nigga from his first wife, because that's the situation and that's what you feel. So every time somebody was coming on this show, Cynthia, Candy, Phaedra, all of those women, Kenya had something. All of them had something before they got to this show. And you were always intimidated. You were always jealous. And instead of checking yourself and realizing that you should have been forming real alliances and friendships with those people, you decided to give them your ass to kiss. And now, who can you run to feel this empty space full of laughter? Who can you run to when you need love? Hey. Who? Carlos, right? Is Carlos going to give you a show? I hope so.
6 episodes.
That's right.
Out of what we now know to be 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
And was that the start of you realizing that, okay.
Girl, duh, that was the humbling. That was the humbling. Show me that you can give me something in these 6 episodes, and then when we renegotiate for season 14, we can put you back in full capacity. That's the mindset that she should have had. Do you remember when Kenya went and got married in the off season and didn't tell anybody? Bravo was mad at her about that. So when she came back, finally, she had to kind of take a back seat a little bit. Because Bravo was mad at her. When Portia had her fight, when she came back, she had to take a back seat for a minute. Bravo has often tried to discipline the women on the show by taking their episodes away from them, not putting them as prominent, not giving them as much screen time. And all you got to do is think smart. All right, I overplayed my hand. I ran my mouth too fucking much. I made these people mad. They the ones who actually have the power. I need them. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna suck it the fuck up. I'm gonna do the 6 episodes. I'm gonna give these hoes everything I got in these 6 episodes. And hopefully when season 14 roll around, I'll be back in my seat. But she didn't want to do that. And guess what? I don't fault her for that. If you didn't want to be humbled, if you felt like you built this house and you're not going to just take 6 episodes, okay, then go on your way and create something else somewhere else. But you didn't do that. And you still not doing that. That's the problem. You continue to think you are more valuable than you really are in that space.
Oh, you started out with 20 or 18 and you were 16.
Girl, nobody was like intentionally phasing you out. The times that you were there, you were acting like you didn't want to be there. You did exactly what Kim Zolciak did. You would show up and basically make the other women feel like, girl, I'm just showing up to get this check. I don't really want to be here. I'm above this now. I can do better than this, but I'm just here because this is my house. So I'm going to show up and let y'all know, but I don't need this. That was your attitude. That was your attitude, girl. And it was going on for such a long time. And like, if you were actually paying attention, y'all, Nene had been giving Bravo her ass to kiss for a while, Brian.
Why are they being offered 18 episodes and I being offered 6 episodes? What did I do? Because I don't know anything that I've done ever on this show that no other housewife in this franchise have not done. I've not done anything that no one else has done. There's been physical altercations on all of these shows, and I've not been involved in any physical altercation, right? There are so many times when people say things to me like, you pulled Kim's wig. I said, you got it very mixed up. I never pulled Kim's wig. That was Sheree that pulled Kim's wig, okay? Be clear about who pulled it. I was standing there, right? And then
well, we know that something happened off camera between y'all two, but I don't give a shit about that. That's not why you was getting reprimanded, Nene. You wasn't getting reprimanded because you were worse than other housewives on the show. That's not why. This is bullshit.
People say, you got into a fight with Kim. Where is the fight? Did you see it? Where is it? Was it on camera? Where is the fight? You didn't see me in a fight anywhere, anytime, ever on this show, right? So you have girls on.
No, we saw you snatch the cameraman and rip his shirt because you didn't want him going into your closet. You act a fool with them girls because they came over to your house. You didn't even want them in your house. Y'all don't remember none of this?
Seen that a housewife didn't get up and walk off the show or walk off a reunion. So I would like to know what it is that I did that someone else did not do. These girls have done way worse than I could ever have done. And then you go to, oh, well, you pushed the cameraman. Well, so he was in the way. Okay. Now what else is going on? So,
okay, well, you telling us that you did something that may be deemed unacceptable in a space, but you don't give a fuck. Okay, well, you know that there are consequences whether you give a fuck or not. That's what it is.
Oh, Teresa pushed Andy down.
If you're gonna not give a fuck, then you need to like really not give a fuck. Meaning that when Bravo don't want to fuck with you no more, you need to not give a fuck instead of like having this begging ass energy now after you've been giving them people your ass to kiss for I don't know how long. Tell me how I'm wrong, please.
And I also think that Bethany can speak and say things that I can't speak out and say. I can say some of the same things that Bethany is saying right now, and I would get criticized, or I would not be invited here, or invited there, and I certainly wouldn't be able to hang out.
Because you're black, honey. Because you're black, honey. It's not fair, but come on. Y'all, this is what Nene said back then. In September 27, 2020, she's on Twitter because I guess Wendy Williams and Andy said some shit about her that she didn't like. So she said, I will always eat and eat good. Believe that. I have always believed in multiple streams of income. So the links are good. You old cocaine head and you old racist. Now she's talking about Wendy and she's talking about Andy respectively. She wasn't calling Andy a cokehead and a racist. She was calling Wendy a cokehead and Andy a racist. But I just kind of feel like, girl, does it really matter? I feel like we all know or can assume what Andy does when he goes out and rubs on, young black men's nipples at parties. Like, I don't know what y'all think's going on there, but you putting those two things in the same sentence, just, it brought it to mind for us. And are we really going to act like it's, so far from the truth? Come on now. No one knew you until you knew me. Remember, I'm Icon. Don't forget. This is what she's telling people online. It's on Twitter. She said they always manipulating black women and say negative things about each other while they sit down and enjoy us tearing each other down. This is when she remember Breonna Taylor, trying to use Breonna Taylor as if she wasn't also somebody that would tear other women down for no fucking reason. Sitting there with Andy when you had no issues with Andy, you will go in on black women. So I'm trying to understand when did the white people make you talk bad about Candy? When did the white people make you talk bad about Kenya? When did the white people make you talk bad about Cynthia, about Portia, about Phaedra? When? Tell me when the white people made you fight the black women, and that's why the relationship is the way it is between you and the rest of the girls that was on that cast. I feel like Nene was a fucking bully the entire time for the most part. She's always been a bully. She's always been insecure. She's always not liked when a woman would come on the show and had, more accolades, as she would say. You got memes, you got one-liners, you funny, all of that shit. But once again, delusional, overplaying your hand.
With anybody in the Hamptons, I think she can say whatever she wants to say, and it's okay. I'm not in that position. I can't say whatever, and she will still work. And I think if we speak and say some of the same things that she said, we can no longer work. Opportunities are being taken away. You're not invited here. We don't like her. We don't want to work anything out with her. I don't get that same opportunity.
Oh, so y'all hear what she just said, right? That's people, they don't want to work with her because of how she is. It's not because she's black. It's because of how she is with people.
And Kim would show up when she was ready to show up. And that is just the truth of the matter.
If Andy Cohen is watching right now, what is it that
is she your friend?
Hi, I heard you had 2 babies now. Congratulations, you have a girl. That's amazing. I always knew you wanted to be a parent, Buttercup. I don't have any hard feelings. I'm a Sagittarius. So at some point,
Girl, and I'm sorry, Sagittarius people, but y'all like to think that life's rules don't apply to y'all. Y'all love to think that the rules of everyday life, the rules of science, the rules of nature, the rules of society, bitch, y'all like to think that those things don't apply to y'all. And there's a place where that absolutely works to your advantage, because a certain level of delusion is required in order to manifest or get whatever you want in life that may seem so big and far away from you. You have to have a little bit of a delusion in there because you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else around you. Everybody else around you will tell you can't do something. You have to believe that you can anyway. That's where a little bit of that delusion comes in. But where this becomes extremely delusional is where you sit up here right now and act like you're not low-key shading him with a buttercup and trying to be nice and sweet and shit, where you was calling that man racist.
I may be mad with you, but then I get over it. I'm not the kind of girl that...
Well, see, no, you think that you can say any old thing to people. Y'all, I have people in my life like that. You think that you can talk to people any kind of way, that you can say anything, that when you get mad, you can throw all of common sense, compassion, and everything out the fucking window. You can completely become an asshole because you're mad. And after you're not angry anymore, everybody should just be happy and get over it. No.
There's been so many people with greater issues in friendships, and they work through them. As I said to you earlier, Cynthia and I will never be best friends again. But we have talked and we've worked through whatever issues we have. So when we see each other, we can laugh, we can talk, and we can sit at a table together. We can work together. I think it says a lot about a person when they can't just say, let's just move on. We'll work through that moment. Let's just move on, because I honestly don't have any ill feelings. What happened has happened.
As the end result of this lawsuit, would you like to go back on Atlanta Housewives?
I can't say that I personally would just like to go back on Atlanta Housewives. However, the fans have all asked for me, and the fans are the reason for the ratings. They're the reason for the show being as popular as it is.
I say I went on down to the Audubon Zoo, and they all asked for you. They all asked for you. They even didn't cry about you. I say I went on down to the Audubon Zoo, and they all asked for you. The monkey's ass, the lion's ass. They all asked about you. Girl, nobody care.
Do you watch the show now?
I do not watch the show. However, I have watched a lot of the clips that come down.
Of course she can't watch the show. Of course she can't watch the show. Girl, if I was her, I wouldn't be able to watch that fucking show without me.
Social media. I don't even know how to turn my TV on. I think everybody that knows me, including Andy Cohen, knows this about me. I don't watch TV. I just don't see any stars on the show.
To be clear, you never see any stars. You're the only star, Nene. That's what's been very clear about your commentary. You're the only star.
If Marlo is the biggest entertainer on the show, they have got to do something.
Thank you, $7.
No, not that she's not entertaining. It's just shocking that this has been a person that was a friend to the show for many years, and now she is bringing the most entertainment. That says a lot about those girls who've been holding those speeches for years. They need to take away their speeches and let them become the friend then.
Do y'all think that Marlo is the most is the most entertaining person on the show? Because I don't. I think Marlo will do anything to have a moment on the show. That's what I think. I think that because she's an opportunist and will take advantage of all of those moments the way she does, but it doesn't make her entertaining. If Marlo was entertaining on her own, then we would see her at her house, making us fucking laugh by just being her. We would see her interact like when you were on the show, and your interactions with your family were seen as entertaining because you are entertaining. Marlo is not entertaining. Marlo is just thirsty to keep her peach, to be honest.
Paying some of the other people probably way more than they're paying Marlo, and Marlo is the most entertaining, then they need to give Marlo some of these other people's check. And
you sound crazy as hell even saying that shit, that they need to give her some of their check. When let's be very clear. Candy fought for you, Marlo, to get on the show, and we know that, okay? Why the fuck, after everything Candy has done for Marlo, should she have to give her some of her check because she's decided to malign Candy and fight with her about dumb shit. Do you see how crazy that sounds? So I can help you get on the show. You decide to make your narrative on the show to attack me and to bring up sensitive subjects for me, even though I'm the person that helped you get on the show. I tried to help you get a show in the past. I've always helped you. So now you've made your lot in life this season to come at me and make my life fucking miserable. And I'm supposed to give some of my check to you because that's entertaining for toxic motherfuckers to watch. Are you insane? You're insane.
Does Marlo deserve to have a peach?
You know, I think so now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because before you said she didn't deserve a peach. Before you said she didn't have anything going on and she doesn't show her life. That's what you said in the last interview when you spoke about Marlo. Now we've changed it up. Okay.
A lot of people have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't give a friend of a peach.
Okay.
They feel like Marlo was best served as a friend of the show. Pop in, pop out, and goodbye. A lot of people can't stomach Marlo being full time. They don't think she has the gravitas to hold the candle of what a peach holder brings to the show. And they feel like she was better served as a friend of.
I'm gonna tell you right now, whenever Carlos says the people, but he goes into that much detail like he just did, it's not the people, that's his opinion. That's his opinion. However, I agree with his opinion about Marlo.
I can understand what people are saying and what they mean, but I have a relationship with Marlo, so therefore I'm happy to have a friend that I know to hold a peach, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
so y'all friends again? Y'all cool again? Is that because she's on the show and you trying to get back on the show? And maybe if y'all decide to force a fucking scene, you'll get back on the show? Don't play like that, because them Bravo people do not give a fuck. Don't play like that. Just go find something else to do. It's absolutely given. Now you're going to try to use Marlo the way Marlo used you all those years, pretending to care about you and being a pick-me so that, you know, you would bring her on the show as your little minion.
Do you think Candy's overrated and overpaid?
I do.
That also, like, do you think Candy's overrated and overpaid? Like, you sat there and thought about that one, didn't you, Carlos?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why.
I just don't think that, you know, me and Candy, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Candy and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that I never ever understood why she had so much animosity towards me.
Girl, the gaslighting. If we go back to the very first fucking season that you and Candy were on that show, Candy was trying to be nice to you, and you was looking at her crazy and all in her fucking face and trying to intimidate her with your size. And she told you to back up off her before she blew up on your ass. Bitch, go watch that season again. Stop playing with me. Y'all love rewriting history. You have had it out for Candy. Candy has constantly tried to be cool with you over the years. And you always turn around and give her your ass to kiss, which I'm sure you're going to do right now.
And some of these other girls who are ripping her apart, like she's back friends with Portia. Now, and I love Portia, but I would not be friends with Portia if I was Candy. According to what Portia and Phaedra did to her, then she should probably never be friends with her again. But
I agree. I think that whatever happened between Candy and Portia, there is a sexual chemistry that happens. But I do feel like there's something about Portia that is kitty click and manipulative. Like, and there's something inside Candy that responds to the very, you know what I'm saying? The very like juicy, oh my God, thing that Portia has going on. Candy, I think, responds to that. And I think that's the reason why she still is cool with her and friends with her, because on some level, she still wants to fuck her. Oh, and to be clear, I feel like Portia is the type of person that will act like she wants to fuck you so that she can use you.
And Candy held the biggest grudges and stuff. I think that Candy is not exciting. I just don't think she's I don't think the camera loves her. I just don't think the camera. I think the camera loves her family, but I don't think they love her. And so I
think that's bullshit. The camera doesn't love Candy. I disagree. If the camera didn't love Candy, Candy would not have been in the limelight since she was, what, 16? Candy's been famous since she was 16. How are you going to say that the camera and the limelight don't love somebody that's been fucking famous since they were 16? How does that even make sense in your brain? I do feel like people were trying to force Candy to be cool with Portia. I do feel like, oh, just get over it. Honestly, I'm saying that because I feel like there was a point where everybody, for the most part, not everybody, but most people were being genuinely manipulated by Portia's very, you know, the femininity and all of that bullshit that she puts on. Yeah, people respond to that shit, especially long term. People respond to that. And I think that Candy responds to that like everybody else does, because I do think that Candy don't see Portia as no real friend like that, but she still hangs around her because she thinks it's probably best for business. But in all honesty, I really do feel like Candy shouldn't really be fucking with Portia.
They want to make Candy like the star, and she's been there for 100 years, and she is her. I don't think not one person tunes in and believes that. I mean, everybody tune in and be like, okay, there's Candy. Okay, now what's going on? Where's Kenya? Okay, where's next? I don't think that anybody tunes in and be like, oh my God, she's just bringing it and she's so everything. I think people look at it.
Candy doesn't have to have an over-the-top personality in order for people to want to see her. People just like Kandi. She doesn't have to do extra in order to be liked. She's just who she is. And a lot of people respond to that. It is what it is. Like I don't know what anybody's talking about. Kandi's a fan favorite, and she's been a fan favorite. People love Kandi. Like it is what it is. She doesn't have to do anything extra for people to love her. She doesn't. The extra shit she does is her talents, her work ethic, her consistency, being likable, trying to help people. Those things make her likable. She doesn't have to act over the top on camera to be liked. You have to do that, but she doesn't. Everybody plays their position differently. I know there are a lot of people that don't like Kandi, but at the end of the day, y'all really don't matter. Like, I'm sorry, but y'all don't really matter in comparison to the people that do like Kandi and do support Kandi. Because if your opinion of not liking her mattered, then more people wouldn't like her. You see what I'm saying? You're in the minority not liking Kandi, and that's fine. I'm in the minority on a lot of shit, and I don't give a fuck. I feel how I feel about the shit. I was in the minority not liking Jocelyn. I was in the minority not liking Nene. I didn't like any of these bitches that y'all love so much because they so over the top on camera. I thought they were all mean, opportunistic, bitchy ass women that were vapid with nothing deep or profound about them. That's what I thought. I was in the minority.
Be like, okay. Next, I think
not Kandi is the reason why the show is trash. Child, that's absolutely a lie. That's absolutely a lie. She's not a producer on the show. Let's start there. She's not a producer of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not in charge of who gets on the show. She's just on the show. And she wasn't even really there that much this season. So if she's the reason why the show is doing so bad, why is it this season still didn't do that well and she wasn't there most of the time? Can you explain that to me? Riddle me that, Batman.
I think that they wanted girls on these shows who did not have the it factor. I said years ago that most of these girls,
child, we can't have a whole bunch of you it factor bitches on one show, okay?
Have the I, but they do not have the T.
Atlanta Housewives at one point in time was.
She may not have the T, but you know what she do have? A job at Bravo. That's what you got. You got a job at Bravo, and the ability to bring them 6-episode shows that they will put on their network. That's what she does. See, what y'all don't understand is Kandi is smart and she doesn't overplay her hand and she doesn't give people her ass to kiss if she still wants to use them because that's stupid. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, would you rather her be like Nene and give Bravo her ass to kiss and then be begging for a job? Would y'all prefer that? I think Kandi's life is boring at this point. For a reality TV show, yeah, it is because it's a regular life. But back when she was getting married to Todd, back when Mama Joyce was acting a fucking fool, back when she was dealing with stuff with her baby daddy, like back when she's dealing with stuff with her group Escape, like Kandi, like the Escape show was very entertaining and really, I think, did really well. People were watching the Escape show. So I'm trying to understand, if Kandi's so boring, if Kandi's so blah, why is it that Kandi shows do well? Hello, how did Kandi in the Game get canceled if she's a pet? Wouldn't they have just kept her show on? I'm sure it was getting more viewership than Kim Zolciak's show was getting, but they let that white lady keep her show for a long ass time. I just want y'all to just admit that y'all don't like Kandi, and that's okay. That's okay. But stop trying to like create bullshit around the narrative that you don't like somebody, so they're undeserving of what they have because you don't like them. That's not how that works. Okay, come with something a little better.
That show needs an anchor.
Mm-hmm.
That show needs somebody, which
this camera shot on him is annoying me. Why is it cutting his hair?
I'm saying to you, it's always you. That show needs somebody that can rally the troops. My all-time favorite trip of Atlanta Housewives history will always be Savannah. I love Savannah. You have fun. There was shade, and it was really sisterhood. And I'm not saying this because you're my face. I said this behind your back. You were able to orchestrate the conversations, and I saw them look to you like, what are we doing? When you say, okay, let's pick room, let's go upstairs, they all looked at you like, Nene is an anchor, and that's not shade. And that's why the problem to me now is there's no anchor.
You are by far the shadiest showrunner I've ever sat with. By far. And one of the great things about you, as I said earlier, is that you know all the girls. You knew what made us tick. You know I'm going to call Nene in, and this is going to piss her off today. Or you knew to call Nene in, and Nene could call. So you knew those things because you had a personal relationship with each and every one of us. And
that's not the only reason why. That's not the only reason why. It's because that's who he is. I would really love to hear what Carlos' siblings have to say about him. Because I feel like if he was anything like this as a child, his siblings probably got in a lot of trouble and a lot of fights because his ass was instigating some shit.
Like Destiny's Child. It could never be Destiny's Child without Beyonce. And I feel like I don't want to give myself that, but the truth is, I started the show. I
don't want to give myself that, but I'm going to, bitch. I'm Beyonce, and Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's not Real Housewives of Atlanta-ing because I'm not there. That's what she's saying. And I think everybody needs to understand something. If you are that girl, like you say you are, then you should be able to move on and recreate it somewhere else. It was an ensemble cast, and you were never that fucking entertaining by yourself. You were always entertaining when you had somebody to hate on or somebody to bounce jokes off of. But outside of that, if you were so fucking entertaining all on your own, then you would have had spinoffs. You would have had other shows. But you weren't thinking about that. You want to do what's easy. That's what you and Sheree got in common. Y'all want to do what's so fucking easy for y'all. Ain't no real hard work. Create another show. Oh my God.
Yeah, I shot the pilot. I did keep trying and bringing these people back in and out, in and out, in.
And I agree with her there. I personally feel like they should leave Kenya and Candy and they should give us all new girls. And eventually Kenya and Candy should phase out. We need a whole new set of people at this point, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know how you think we're going to have a new set of people with your ass back.
And so same thing with Candy. You need somebody to grab her up and take her there. Because otherwise she's just chilling. You know, so she's just like, okay, I'm just getting this check. But you bring some of these girls in who's going to really read you, girl, and not really care about you being here for 10 years, then you're going to do your job. Because we're about to gather you now. And so I think they just missed it.
Yeah, but see, that's what you're talking. She's talking about the shit that's happening. Y'all get these new girls. They don't have shit going on in their life. So all they do is come for Kenya and Candy trying to have a fucking moment. Kenya's bored because that's what they always do. They come to her trying to read and have a moment. And she's bored because, bitch, you ain't on my level. You're not on my level. You're not on my level in life. You're not on my level on this show. So why would I even give you the energy, Courtney? Like, you want me to give you a moment so that you can get on my level. That's what Kenya understands at this point. What really needs to happen is Real Housewives producers, truly original. Y'all need to go get better talent for the other girls to work with. Stop bringing us people that don't have shit going on in their life or no real confidence about themselves.
They just have to do my research. But I hear that she is.
Marlo can't read. Marlo can't read anybody because Marlo isn't smart enough to read anybody. Like, I don't know what you mean reading her for the gods, saying Candy was fucked out, saying that Candy doesn't take accountability. When has Marlo read Candy this season? I know that they came, folks came for her at the reunion, I heard. But outside of that, Marlo can't read. Like, what are you even talking about? Marlo never knows what she's saying. She doesn't even read in the confessionals. Why is a show based around reading and dragging someone? So we want to build a house of hate? That sounds sad and dysfunctional. I thought people like when they had fun. Hire real friends. Child, we tried that. We tried that with Mayetta, and y'all see how they you know. I like Mayetta, but I also feel like she does kind of blend into the background, and that's a good thing sometimes. But honestly, like for instance, this past episode where they tried to call her, when Sonya's trying to call her to the carpet for saying collusion, instead of apologizing in a nice, nasty way, she should have stood on it and said, well, yeah, I mean, if you look up the word, I feel like that's the perfect word for what y'all were doing. Like, what's the problem? And then I would have said, how, well, Sonya, maybe you don't understand it because they were trying to explain it to you too. Like, Mayetta should have stood in it, and Mayetta didn't stand it. Okay?
I had to deal with Dead My Mercury, and which is the same company that produces the Wendy Williams show. And I'm not sure if they had locked in my co-host at the time, but we did have talks with Tom Arnold and others. I don't know if he had a deal with them as of yet, but I had a deal in the works with them. And she and I got into our thing. I think I had a Birkin bag, and Kim Kardashian had one, and we had put graffiti on it. And she said that, you know, like she can't afford to do that, but Kim them could afford to do it. And I was like, listen, Window, you know, and when I said that, you know, we kind of back and forth, and both of us was at this women empowerment thing, and just anyway, just went super left. All I know is we went back and forth, and they pulled my deal.
How did you find out they pulled the deal?
Through my attorney. The deal wasn't going any further. And I was like, what?
Let me tell y'all something. I don't know whether it was because of her or it was because of Wendy. I do remember feeling like Wendy probably put the kaputs on her show, and that they were still cool after that too. Either way, I just kind of feel like I could believe that Wendy tried to stop you from getting close to her, feeling like she needed to protect her spot, because Wendy didn't want nobody coming for her spot, even when it was time for her to go sit her ass down and give it up. So I can believe when Nene is saying that Wendy snaked her, but I could also say I didn't want to see Nene and no fucking Tom Arnold.
You think you're blackballed?
I was very much so. I have been able to work, you know, a little now, but for a long time, yes. And definitely in certain areas like podcasting, no. Talk show, no. That's always been a no for me. Like, no matter, I wanted to do a podcast or wanted to do a talk show is.
So let me ask you a question, Nene. What do you think you need to do in order to get a podcast? Because you really can do what the rest of us do, what Carlos does. Like, we buy the equipment and we get on YouTube, we make the podcast and we post the shit. And once we get a good amount of people watching and listening to us, then somebody might come along and want to sponsor. Like, you don't need anybody to do this. Exactly. You want a big deal. You want somebody to come and hand you something instead of you having to work for it. That's the main problem you seem to be having in life, is that you don't understand when it's time for you to actually work for something versus always feeling like somebody's going to hand it to you.
Like, what is on Nene's vision board that if someone's listening who's able to grant you the opportunity of your dreams, what is it that you would want right now in this place in your life?
I love talk. So obviously talk is probably in the forefront. I love to talk and I love to act. So
You like to play yourself and stuff.
TV series, all those things. I love everything entertainment though.
Do you think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely. They push Kim to the front and push me to the back.
Because she's white, honey. Get over this. Like, get over this, girl. Please get over this. This is why you create camaraderie with other Black women. So you can stop thinking that once you rub elbows with the right people, you're going to be gifted whiteness. Like, get over it. Also, she's ignoring that Kim is a sex symbol. Nene is a beautiful woman, don't get me wrong. And she is sexy to who she's sexy to. But Kim is like a sexual icon. Like, she's known from sex. We know her from hopping on Ray J's dick.
It felt like we couldn't really show them that much on our show, but on their show, all they do is talk about their businesses. And all they do is, talk about lunch and their makeup lines.
It's their show though, Nene. It's their show. They have a show, but the Kardashians they own that. You don't own Real Housewives. Is she not understanding that there's a huge difference?
Their clothing lines are there. But I do think there was a moment where Kenya was a star. And I think I would have to say that reality didn't help her star. That may be a better way to say it.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Reality didn't help her star. That's not true. Kenya was a beautiful woman, and we would be happy to see Miss Bozak when we would see her. But she wasn't even starring in any movie roles in the late 90s, early 2000s. She was just somebody that was there. Like, she was Lucius Lyon's wife on Deliver Us from Eva, where Gabrielle Union is the star of the fucking show. And Robin Lee and Essence Atkins are her co-stars. And you see Kenya show up for 5 minutes to play the thirsty wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not shading her, but Kenya became a star because of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I always view Phaedra, as more corporate or entrepreneur like.
Yeah.
I don't see her like TV star. See her like
because she's not. I can't wait to see what she's not going to give on Married to Medicine.
Entrepreneur star. I've never, and so I can't even pretend today, I've never seen Kandi as a star. I have seen Kandi as a supporting star, but not as the star.
To be clear, y'all, even though, and I'm just talking about from growing up, let's just Escape. Escape had a whole group of girls that's all singing lead vocals. But we all know that Latasha Scott was like lead vocalist because her voice was the one we would hear the most on the runs and everything. But to be clear, every man was a woman. Kandi is a fucking star. Kandi was a star. Kandi was the youngest person in that group. And I remember my eyes being pulled to Kandi. As time went on, I definitely felt myself being pulled to Kandi's voice. As time went on, you start being pulled to Kandi's cadence in the way she produces music. Because most of the like number one albums in the early 2000s made by somebody Black has a Kandi credit on it. So to say that somebody is not a star because they're not over the top is bullshit to me. You're a hater. Kandi was a star because when she was in a group with 3 other young women, she stood out. That's what made her a star. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Who won between you and Claudia in Puerto Rico?
I'm always
Claudia.
And,
Claudia. And I'm going to say it's Claudia because you didn't start making anybody laugh until Claudia walked away from the fucking table. You telling jokes once the battle is over doesn't mean you won.
Obviously, my number one battle.
Yes.
She was definitely right up there to battle with. Yeah, I don't think that.
Absolutely. She read you the fuck down. Let me tell y'all something. I was so into Real Housewives of Atlanta when Claudia came on there. I was so grateful that somebody finally showed up and did not punk out. Because everybody punked out. Even Kenya, on some level, Nene, she wanted to be Nene's friend. She wanted to be accepted by Nene. And Nene would not see it for Kenya. I was so happy when Claudia came on the show and read the back of her neck down. Okay? I was so fucking grateful. Because at that point, it was like she was a bully and everybody was scared of her. That's what I remember. I got paid for a piece, but Claudia ended up as well. But when they went in to give Claudia's story, it wasn't working out from what I understand. She was amazing for what she was there for. Okay. So Claudia's backstory, Claudia's personal life. Okay, they be out there talking. We don't know who you was fucking around with at that time, but Claudia must not have had anything going on in her personal life that would have worked. I think Claudia was great, but a highly paid friend would have been perfect. Yes. I think she should have stayed on the show as a friend of. And the fact that she did not stay on the show in any capacity makes me feel like, regardless of what Nene and Carlos are telling us right now, when it all boiled down to it, why didn't she return in any capacity? Tell me why. I just need to understand that.
I am a lovable person. There's no hate ever in my heart. Ever when you see me, there's no hate. And I have no ill feelings towards anybody that I've ever worked with. Honestly,
That's a lie.
I tell it like it is.
Okay, I got you. Claudia declined the friend of role, which I understand. Like, if I'm gonna come on as a peach holder, now you want me to come after I did all this work. You want me to come on here and not. But at the same time, they gave Marlo a fucking peach all these years later, and we ain't seen nothing really about her personal life. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I know y'all want to believe, Nene went to bat for Claudia, and I'm sure on some level she did, but we've often seen Nene say one thing and then turn around and say another, or say one thing and then turn around and do another. It doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But you hate on everybody, bitch. Like, you hate on the people that are good for the show, whether they're bad for the show. At one point or another, you will on Watch What Happens Live or on Twitter or somewhere saying that the girl didn't deserve to be there. And I'm not talking about Claudia. I'm talking about any of the women that have been on the show.
A lot of people. Yes, Portia, I fought for you. You're on here. Cynthia, hello. Thank you.
Okay, so as she just said, Cynthia, hello. Okay, so are we going to act like we didn't see her several times get her ass on television and say that Cynthia was boring and she could go? We didn't see that? Oh, okay. But you're going to tell me that she fought for Cynthia. Okay.
So I did.
Point
I
made.
feel like it was all returned.
My point
but
is
that's
made.
okay, because you don't do things for things to be returned. They will all come back in due time. Now, this is the moment where, yes, microphone, I'm here for, this is the moment where I have to turn.
Okay, go ahead, I'm ready.
You said the question, I said, do not edit it out.
Cynthia wasn't boring when she was kicking Portia in the pussy.
Okay, so
You can't say Nene doesn't own Housewives and blame her for everything that went wrong. She's not a producer. I'm not blaming her for anything that went wrong. I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that she has somewhat of an influence, is what I'm saying. I do feel that she has somewhat of an influence. I do. If you have influence to save people's jobs, as she just stated, then you have influence on whether they should stay or not. Trying to fucking check me. Like, she ain't just say that she helped people keep their jobs. Do she have power or don't she have power? Come on.
People, the most underrepresented reality star in the world. You are. I think you deserve a walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think you should have talk shows and podcast deals, and you should be on.
All you gotta do is pay for it. A Hollywood Walk of Fame, y'all, you pay for that. Like, that's all you gotta do. Go pay for it, and you'll get one. I do feel like she's an icon. I do feel like she should have all of those opportunities, but I also feel like you can't be mean and an asshole to everybody and expect them to want to work with you.
Netflix scripted shows. I see some reality stars who have opportunities that I think like, oh, Nene should have had that years ago.
Oh, wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute, bitch. Don't come on here trying to check me talking about she did not say Kandi was not a star in music. Kandi is boring on TV. So let me go ahead and check you right quick since you're trying to come in here and check me, Nikki Pooh. Let me gather you, honey. Okay, she did not say Kandi isn't a star in music. She said Kandi isn't a star. And when I brought up Kandi being an escape, I'm talking about me literally remembering watching Kandi in videos. Okay? I'm talking about seeing Kandi in music videos, looking through the girls and identifying with Kandi and her being a star in their group to me, based on me looking at them and then listening to her voice and then watching her continue to be consistent. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me, because Nene did not specify whether she was a star in music or not. She just said she wasn't a star. That was a blanketed statement. Okay, Pooh, don't be trying to check me. All right. Jamie, why didn't he check his camera shot? I feel like, was he working alone? Did nobody come and help him? Because why is this camera shot like this? I'm sorry, y'all. I just expect more from Carlos. Carlos is an executive producer on like 4 shows. Like, I expect him to have somebody come in and make this look real cute for him. He needed a camera person. Where is the camera person? Camera person needs to be checked. I'm not going to say they need to be fired, but camera person, where were you? It was most important for Nene to look good. Don't get me wrong. But if we're going to keep putting up these shots of him in his little bitty t-shirt, then I just need for his head to not be cut off in the shot. This is bothering me. I'm talking
You
to Candy
literally
Cody,
are
Jamie. That's
the
in
queen.
Listen, is he covering something with that angle? Come on, Jay. This is why I love Jamie. Okay, this is Candy Cody, Jamie, right here. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Jamie's YouTube page, okay? Because she is booked and busy. All right, y'all don't know how much Jamie is that girl. We're gonna have Jamie on the Ooh Ladies first panel because we need her to go all the way back and explain to us what happened with Portia when Portia was running down the street screaming Jamie's name. Okay, we need a playback. We need to go all the way, since we want to go back to the beginning of Real Housewives and shit and talk about stuff. Jamie, we're gonna have you on so you can tell us some stuff.
It's sad. I'm gonna cry. It saddens me
Cry
that I have to sit back and watch a woman who paved the way even for me to be able to sit in this room across from me, and it makes me sad because it's not okay. And
so there is somebody back there that can come and give us some fucking tissue, but can't fix this wayward camera angle trying to cover up this nigga's 5 head. Okay, let me tell y'all something. How many times is Carlos gonna cry in an interview with a fucking narcissist on their behalf? Because this is definitely reminding me of him getting emotional over fucking Martell's ass during the reunion show. How are you more emotional over these people's careers than they are over their own careers? This is such bullshit.
But like, Like, I feel like when it comes to you, you have.
This is a mean post. If you sensitive and you think I'm mean, please get off this video because I'm about to be meaner. Fuck all of these tears. She's an asshole. That's why she don't have a lot of these jobs that you feel like she should have, because she gives people her ass to kiss.
Get the fuck over it. Sit down. Have the conversation. It's stupid as fuck. I think it's dumb. I really do believe if everybody was in the room for 3 hours and just talked it out, yell each other, bitch, you did that.
I can't believe y'all got me on these white people's side. Like I'm literally sitting up here thinking, if I was the white men at Bravo that's in control of this shit, I'd be looking at these two motherfuckers like, this is just ridiculous and pathetic. Y'all know what y'all did. I'm not doing this with y'all. I ain't y'all fucking friend. I ain't got to sit down and hash nothing out with you. I gave you an opportunity on my network. It was a mutually beneficial relationship. You decided that you could give me your ass to kiss. I gave you a chance to make it right, and you gave me your ass to kiss again, and now I'm not fucking with you. That's it. That's all.
And at the end say, okay, we got it out.
And scene. Okay, shout out to Candy. And scene.
So do you think the men should be more involved?
Yes, absolutely. The problem.
Of course you feel like that. Of course you feel like the men should be more involved. Because that's what happens on your shows.
That's my dream. I feel like we were robbed of getting a Candy and Phaedra conversation.
I too. Now, always.
So you mean to tell me you can instigate a lie against somebody? Because from what I understand, you were a part of that, Carlos. You were a part of that plot that season with Phaedra. You knew about it. You were able to clean it up and act as if it didn't have anything to do with you. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to understand how you were involved in that collusion that took place. But you're like, see, I feel like we never had a conversation. It's crazy how y'all feel like you can like completely malign, disrespect, and say anything about somebody and still expect something from them. It is insane. There are a lot of conversations that have never come full circle, so we can all hang that up. Hang it the fuck up. And on top of that, y'all, this is another thing I want y'all to get out of y'all head. Phaedra is not entertaining. She's not. When Phaedra was with Apollo, she was entertaining. When Phaedra was rubbing her booty against Portia's booty, that was entertaining. Outside of that, the rehearsed, written down reads, yeah, she's not that entertaining, as you saw when she moved on to marriage boot camp with the dude she wasn't even really in a relationship with. Get the fuck out of here with this, man. You just want to bring Phaedra back because you want to try to fix what you ruined or what you helped ruin that season that y'all said Candy had people down there in the fucking dungeon.
We should have saw that with Phaedra. And because we did not see Phaedra and Candy deal with the aftermath, it ruined the show.
And it's been years.
Ruined it?
She didn't have to be a regular on the show. They should have sat down.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
It would have been the highest rated season, and it may have been Emmy nominated.
Well, they control it.
It would not have been Emmy nominated. That's such bullshit. I hate that you would put that on Candy's shoulders because you know Candy wants an EGOT. So you think that bullying Candy or trying to guilt her by using how she wants to get an EGOT, that's what you're doing right now, right? Oh, she would have got her Emmy if only she would have sat down and talked to Phaedra. Fuck y'all. That lady don't have to sit down and talk to nobody if she don't want to. And I actually feel like Candy gave Phaedra the opportunity to set the shit right at the reunion, and she refused to take accountability. She turned her chin up and she acted as if she had nothing to say to Candy. And we all know she vindictively did that shit because she wanted Candy to pick a side with the whole Apollo situation. I didn't agree with the way Candy handled the situation with Apollo and all of that. But at the end of the day, I still feel like for you to go that far to malign her to get back at her, bitch, we can't ever be friends or be cool at all because look at the lengths that you will go to get back at me over something that ain't even that fucking deep. And then when you were called to the carpet at the reunion show, the lies, your ass did not want to really be honest and talk about shit. We have nothing to talk about. If you can't hit a bitch up in private and have a conversation, and we damn sure can't be forced to have a conversation for no fucking check, because how's she gonna know if it's real? That's ridiculous. I don't like that.
Those nominations. So I don't know about all of that. When Candy can get red and she's there. Marlo is good there.
So y'all want Candy on the show so she can get red. That's why y'all want her to have this sit down with Phaedra. So in some way, Candy can have to humble herself, right? Because y'all always want to humble Candy. All right, got it.
I think Kenya will be there. And I wasn't a part of that. Was that the time that you called me?
Yes.
And I said I wasn't ready?
Yes, it was.
Oh, but you didn't tell me that it was going to be.
You never know. So just to go back to that, each girl did not know it was going to be a reunion.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was surprised.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's why I said no. Had I known it was going to be a whole group, I would have said, oh, maybe I'll go.
Okay, well, listen.
So when he called you, you wasn't ready. But when you found out it was a housewives thing, you felt like you should have been there. This is why you don't have a job. Like, this is why you don't have a job. This is why you don't have a job. Because when somebody call you and you don't want to deal with it, and I'm not going to answer the phone, well, then you missed that opportunity, bitch. It looked like he was trying to give you the opportunity and you missed it.
But I'm glad those girls went on. I'm glad to have the seat by myself. I don't want to share the air.
Well, I think when you're not going to
The place right now.
I can tell.
I think this
Yeah,
is
Jamie. Yeah, Jamie, you think they got a lot of stuff to talk about? You think if they go on a tour, they're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about that's not housewives? Okay, all right. Listen, I do think that Nene and Carlos need to work together. I think he needs to give her a cute little 30-minute show doing something for the people to enjoy.
If you look at fair,
time was right.
Mhm.
And I have so much wisdom to offer to the community
Mhm.
that because I'm confident, I don't really give a fuck how they think about me in this
Yeah.
world.
Mhm.
The time is now.
and the time is you just came out and you and Kanye West are doing well.
So thank you so much for watching Reality with the King. Catch
Is that why you decided to come into this space, Carlos? Oh, okay. Because people kept telling you should do that. Oh, okay. Okay. We just want to say down here at Bondy Blue's YouTube page, thank you so much, Carlos and Nene, for giving me something to review and, you know, giving me a nice little check to make. Thank you so much. I am so appreciative of your contributions to the space. I am. And with that being said, I hope that you gonna give her a job or something. Okay. I hope you're gonna give her something to do. All right. We can argue all day about who the queen of reality TV is. I feel like there are queens in reality TV. There are people that are great at this. There are people that are iconic because of it. And everybody is in their own lane. Everybody's in their own lane. But I'm gonna say what I keep saying. Y'all keep worrying about the wrong shit. If Nene was really that girl like she say she is, bitch, prove it. Prove it. Because Candy keep proving she that girl over and over again. Tammy Roman keeps proving she's that girl over and over again. You can't be that girl for one moment and then keep trying to remind everybody for the rest of their fucking life how you that girl. No, you got to remind them by being. Don't tell us. Go be it.